ROIFM.com. We are streaming audio live, RTC Channel 5, audio and video live on the First Federal Savings Bank Facebook page. Katie's in the studio this morning doing that. Good morning, Katie.
Morning.
Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
All right. And of course, across the console from First Federal Savings Bank, Mr. Dick Belcher. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's going to be a great weekend.
Every weekend's a great weekend, right?
A lot of graduations going on, including Ivy Tech tonight.
Is it? Okay, good.
And Purdue tomorrow and Sunday, and it's the end of the school year.
It is, finally, end of the school year, that's right.
Archie Harrison. Did you ever hear of him?
No?
Yeah.
Well, maybe. What do you do?
Oh, he's the newborn.
Oh, that's right. Yes, across the ocean there. Right, right.
You know what his last name is?
It's a two name thing.
Mountbatten Windsor.
Yeah, Mountbatten Windsor.
Archie.
Sure. Yeah.
First Archie.
Yeah. Can you imagine writing that as a little kid though when you learn to write? Holy smoke! You know, write your name's always the first thing. We've been doing that forever.
You have people to do it for him.
Yeah. Oh, Harry Webb is here, by the way, too.
Harry Webb. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember writing my name about second or third grade. I was spelling it wrong. My mother came to visit, and my teacher made it English. Richard. No, it's ERD. Okay, Harry and Megan, they have this boy. He's seventh in line.
Mm-hmm.
He probably won't get to.
I don't think so.
Won't get to the.
I don't think so. I don't think. I'm not even sure Charles is going to make it the way it's going.
Okay. Okay. Charlie Swank.
Yes.
You know, she took 70-some kids to Indianapolis.
Right.
Now tomorrow, she's taking Girls on the Run to South Bend.
Good for her.
About 25.
Good for her.
Oh, she's got energy.
Yes, she does.
She's taught 40 years.
Still at it. Still going strong.
Well, talking about school teachers, Zena Daniels passed away this week. Zena was the teacher for a lot of us, our kids, and was a great teacher, but she was 97. Okay, little trivia this morning.
I'm ready.
All right. You know who Queen Elizabeth is and Prince Philip?
Yes.
How long they've been married?
Long time.
Yeah, 50, 60, or 71 years.
Wow.
Okay, we got some information here from Tanner.
Okay.
Remotely. Tanner's not here this morning. Maximum Security was disqualified from the Kentucky Derby, leading to Country Horse being named the winner.
Yeah, Country House. And foul. I call foul.
Yeah, okay.
Foul, definitely.
Okay. The XFL announced that their games are going to be air on ABC, ESPN, Fox, and Fox Sports 1.
Really?
That's
wow.
Yeah. Okay, now Mr. Basketball from high school in Indiana is from Center Grove. Trace Jackson Davis going to IU.
Congratulations to him.
And Miss Basketball, who is Jory Allen from Bedford, going to IU.
Oh, wow.
They got both of them.
Wow. Did the Boilers compete for that?
Oh, probably not.
Purdue picked up a good point or a good guard yesterday.
Did they?
He's the number one player in Pennsylvania.
Who?
For the 2020 class.
Oh.
That's why you need Tanner here, because I don't know what
Okay. Medal of Freedom goes to Tiger Woods.
Yeah, sure. Third golfer to get it.
Third one?
Yes.
Yeah, who were the other two?
Arnold and Jack, I think.
Okay. All right, now, just a little information here. The previous Medal of Freedom winners that Trump has given is Babe Ruth,
Okay.
Roger Staubach, and Alan Page. Those are all athletes.
Athletes, right.
So, yeah, you kind of think of that.
Yeah.
If you look up how many they've given out in the years, there's hundreds.
Lots and lots of them.
Yeah.
Alan Page, though, served as a justice on the Minnesota Supreme Court, I think.
That's right, he did.
Several years.
Yeah. He was a good football player.
Good football player, too.
Played at the University of Minnesota.
Yeah. Vikings play for the Vikings.
Yeah. Okay, here's some Tanner's tidbits.
Ready?
On this date, 1752, Benjamin Franklin tested the lighting conductor with his kite flying equipment.
What was that date again?
1752.
1752. Wow.
That's how we got the
That's
electricity.
Right. That's right.
Right. On this date in 2017, Apple became the first company to be worth more than $800 billion.
Wow. Aren't they pushing $1 trillion now?
Yes.
I thought they were pretty close.
Yeah. Today is Mother Ocean Day, whatever that means.
Take
One
care
Day
of the
Without
ocean.
Shoe Day.
Okay.
Military Spouse Appreciation Day. Public Gardens Day. Stay Up All Night Day.
There's a time I could do that. That was many years ago. Harry probably still does that because his mind is constantly thinking.
Yeah.
So,
One date that caught my eye this week was on May 7th. It was the anniversary of the Germans surrendering in France.
Very good.
And I was a young chap at that time, and it was a huge deal.
I was going to say, that was an important day.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because, the Americans never sacrificed more in any war than World War II. Shortage of everything,
Right.
and selling bonds to finance it, and then finally in 45 they defeated Hitler, and then we went on to Japan and won that.
That's right.
In August
Very
later
Truman.
on. Okay, some upcoming events. Friends of the Fulton County Public Library is holding a 2-day spring book sale today and tomorrow. Today's date sale is from 10 to 4 and tomorrow 10 to 1.
You know, you get a lot of bargains there too. That's really a cool deal.
Yeah.
And
Well,
a
it's
good
in
way
the
to
eyes
support.
of the beholders, the people that bring them in. I don't want this book
Right,
anymore.
right.
So it's good.
I mean, 25 cents, you can
Yeah.
stock up.
Yeah, the Rochester Scioto Psi chapter is holding a Nelson Porterpick fundraiser on Saturday, May 18th at Miller's Service Center. That's next Saturday.
Okay.
Times Theater is selling tickets to the South Bend Cubs versus Bowling Green Hot Rods for Saturday, June 22nd. Make a little money off of that. Also coming. I should say June 22nd, not May.
Right, June 22nd.
Because May
That's right.
22nd, that's next Wednesday, Trinity Church in Rochester is having their annual chicken bash.
Very good.
Next Thursday, May 16th, Melinda Heidi Johnson will appear on on Wheel of Fortune.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's
yeah.
exciting.
So at 7 o'clock, WSBT.
Okay. When's that? What was that date again?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's have some flowers this morning. Shanae Shriver.
Yeah.
She's
Good kid.
She's gotten several awards, but she's also valedictorian of her class. She got the Lilly Award, and she's going to share her talents with First Federal this summer.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're glad to get her. We've had several Lilly people over
Right.
the years, and it's a great thing.
Yes, it is.
Okay, Casson has listed their Distinguished Award winners for alums. They are Mark Maddox, Dave Lease, Dr. Marcia Lease Buck, Brian Weiss, that's with a W, not an L,
Okay.
Justin Harold, Eric Walsh, and Michelle Skinner.
Congratulations to all those.
Congratulations
folks.
to them. Okay, talk a little bit about money.
Always. Always.
Dow was off 138 yesterday.
Well, just like you said earlier, it's been kind of a rocky road this week.
It's a rocky road, and they're already predicting that this week will be the worst week of the year as far as the market is concerned.
Is it all because of the trades?
Yeah,
The trade things?
I think so. Yeah, the markets don't like things that aren't for sure.
They just like things kind of
Yeah.
leveled out, right?
Well, we talked a little about this before we went on the air about Purdue Land Sob $37 million on the west side of the campus. They'll be building jet trainers, employing 300 people.
That's a big deal.
It's exciting.
Uber
90 billion,
today,
something like that.
$45 a share.
Wow. Now Lyft is Lyft today, or is that just Uber today?
Uber.
Just Uber. Okay.
Lyft went a month ago,
Oh, okay.
and they've gone down 23%.
Okay.
Uber lost $3.7 billion in the last.
So you gonna jump on this today?
No, I'm
No.
busy. I'm busy.
He's got his own car.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Isn't it amazing those two companies?
Oh, I know.
I mean,
I know.
it is something
I
else.
know they're not turning any profit yet. They still
No, they don't make any
put
money.
these IPOs on. I wish there was a radio station in Rochester could put out an IPO.
Okay. Well, along with talking about money, we got to talk about the agricultural industry. It's the rain and the tariffs are hurting the farmers,
Exactly.
and the price of commodities are way down. That pushes the price of the land down. All not good. And it was basically they give the Midwest credit for getting Trump in. And he's not listening very much to the farmers, I guess. But we'll see. Come into First Federal today. We're open until 5 o'clock, and tomorrow from 8:30 to noon. You can always bank with us online and with our mobile apps, which is free to download. Our ATM is open 24/7, as well if you need some cash. We offer many different mortgage products, USDA and FHA loans, conventional loans, one-step construction loans, premier first-time home buyer. We got all kinds of loans.
You do.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
just come down. We'll take care of you. By the way, our Plymouth and Bremen office, which are both in Marshall County, they were selected as the outstanding mortgage lender of the county.
Outstanding. That's great.
Recently.
That's great.
Congratulations to Dennis and Larry there. They've both been there a long, long time, and Larry's been there 40 years, and I think Dennis Belinsky about 25 years.
That's kind of, I was thinking about earlier, that's one of the secrets to First Federal. You have a lot of people that have stayed with you a long time. We could say the same for Webb's Family Pharmacy. You've had a lot of people that have stayed with you a long time.
Oh, yeah, it's key to our business.
Yeah,
To
sure.
Those people.
Well, that's a sign it's a good place to work.
Right. Exactly.
There. We offer commercial lending for businesses. Contact Lindy Green for more information. We also offer financial services. Contact Mark Blueball or Brian Bell today for more information. Like us on Facebook. You can get that on Facebook today, right?
Yep.
Katie?
Mhm.
She's got it right there.
Got it all under control, doesn't she?
That's right.
We excite extremely.
Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We are a member of FDIC and an equal housing lender, and our MNLS number is 39090927. Well, Harry Webb, owner of Webb's Pharmacy and the 2019 Fulton County Chamber of Commerce Community Service Award winner. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know what that means too? It means you're the Grand Marshal for the parade this year.
All right. Been practicing my way.
Have you good?
Yeah.
Good. You got to get that down pat.
Yeah, you got to practice.
That's right. That's an important part of it.
Well, Harry, congratulations. I know you've been in this community how many years now?
I moved here in '85. So
Okay. You bought the pharmacy from the Baxter family, and
bought that in 1990. Yep, came here to work for them with the opportunity to buy it someday. That
Yeah.
happened in 1990. Same year Walmart came to town. So that was good timing.
Good timing.
okay, now you got a couple other locations. Tell us about those.
Yeah, we have obviously our store in downtown Rochester has been it's the longest established business in Fulton County of a continuous nature. It's been a pharmacy since 1860.
Okay.
Wow.
The building that it's in was built in 1880. There was a wooden structure there with a pharmacy prior to that. The first owner was a physician, and the only time the store has been closed was about a 6-month stint when he went and did a medical battalion in the Civil War in Kentucky.
What a story. Wow.
That's pretty interesting.
That is interesting.
But yeah, and then in 1995 we purchased a Harris Drug in Akron and moved and opened a second location there. And then this year, well, actually October of last year, we opened our third location in North Manchester.
Now in Akron, you moved the store from.
Yes,
where
it's kind
Harris
of gone
originally
catty
was.
corner. Yeah,
Right.
it's the building that we were in. We didn't own that building. We rented that space, and that building was in pretty bad shape. It was kind of owned by 3 different people, and the upstairs was an absolute disaster. The building really needed to be condemned. It had to go, unfortunately. You know, it just shows what happens when you don't put money back into a building. These old buildings are not going to survive if you don't reinvest in them. That's for sure.
Right.
Well, you've taken care of the situation in Rochester by remodeling your store. And
Yeah.
tell us a little bit of what all you've done to that store.
Over the years, we have remodeled that store 3 times inside. We moved the pharmacy in an effort to boost the fountain and expand the pharmacy. Probably it was in the 90s, and we leveled the floor and put in the tile flooring and did all that. And then about 7 years ago or so, we moved the pharmacy into its current location and put in a drive-through and took the soda fountain out, unfortunately.
Well, I miss the sloppy joes on Friday, by the way.
Well, I do too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that was something.
They were good.
Yeah, that was a hard thing to do. But we rented the space out for a few years and to another restaurant, and then eventually just had to close the space. And it's really worked well for the pharmacy. It really allowed us to expand the pharmacy up to what we're doing.
And put the drive-through in too.
And put the drive-through in. Yeah, but there was really no way to do a drive-through without moving it. And then the completed last year was the facade renovation. That was a grant. We got about 25% matching grant from the state, and we did a historic preservation of the facade. That has definitely been the most noticeable improvement to that store. It was kind of a very interesting project, figuring out what that building used to look like and then trying to make it happen.
Okay, how did you research that?
Well, old photos, and a lot of it was, we really don't know what's behind this brick until we take it off. You know? Unfortunately, we did, if you look at the store, just to the left of our main door, there's an apartment door, and on either side of that, there's 2 metal I-beams, or actually a T-shaped beam. And back when they built these buildings, the I-beams were decorative. On the outside edge of that, they had grooves, and they weren't intended to be hidden inside the wall. They were actually decorative. Well, we exposed those, but one of them was literally dangling. The foundation on one corner of the building had collapsed probably back in the 20s or 30s, and it was in a crawl space area that we never really went into.
Wow.
Didn't know it was in that kind of condition. But the old foundation of that building was actually a kind of pyramid of rocks held together with mortar. And in the 1800s until about the Depression, downtown Rochester was fed with a central steam plant. That's where they got their heat. And these steam lines were wrapped in 2x4s and buried in the ground. And it came through the foundation right in that corner, and that steam caused the mortar to give and that foundation to collapse. Who knows when? Well, 15 yards of concrete later, we got that shored back up, and that beam is now holding something. But the old facade that was put on it over the years had kind of supported the corner, but once we removed all that, we had to get that all shored up. But
You've really improved your equipment side too.
yes, we did expand home medical equipment.
Right.
We've done oxygen and CPAP and medical equipment for several years, but we bought the building to the north of us, or south of us, a few years ago and moved the home medical side into that. And we do have a respiratory therapist that consults 1 day a week, and then we have 2 trained home medical equipment consultants that can help patients with oxygen, CPAP, and mobility. So that's a nice niche for that part of that business. It's actually 3 stores within a store. Our customers are it's 3 different sets of customers. You have the front customers. Sometimes they're coming in paying due payments or shipping packages, and then you have the home medical side, and then of course the pharmacy in the back.
And some gifts.
And
Yeah.
the
Few
front,
gifts,
yeah,
sure.
yeah, the gift section is doing very well since the remodel. It's just taken off.
We're talking this morning to Harry Webb, owner of Webb's Pharmacy and the winner of the 2019 Fulton County Chamber of Commerce Service Award. Tell us about, I know you were involved in a lot of things downtown, and you're the great example of entrepreneurship and leadership in our community. Followed the Baxter's Ernie and Park really well. You'd have to really hustle to keep up with Ernie, but
Yeah, no doubt about it.
yeah.
I remember Ernie standing in front of the store one day when I was doing the first remodel, and we gutted the floor and taking all the fixtures out. He didn't know I was standing right behind him, but he walks in, puts his hands on his hips, and said, "Harry's ruined a good drugstore," and turned around and went out. And at that point, I was kind of agreeing with him. But,
Yeah, and then you started getting the bills.
but I definitely believe in, Dick, you're a classic example that local entrepreneurs are really the backbone of our community, and many of them are what get involved in our town in making it a better place. Whereas everybody wants to see that 300-man factory come in, it's really the small businesses that do most of that make the community in its definition.
Well, I was going to address that to both of you because you're both very outstanding entrepreneurs. Why entrepreneurship? I mean, what motivated you to become an entrepreneur, to do it on your own?
I don't think it's something that you study for. It's just something that you are. I mean, I think it is just something you do. It's a person, you can't teach it. Somebody has to have that, I guess, blind confidence to stand at the edge of the cliff with the wind at their back and say, "I think I can make this work."
Well, the way it worked for me, I was only 32 years old when I started the bank, and I didn't know any better.
And you're still doing it today. Outstanding.
Yeah. I remember after we built the facility that we're in now. We have 75 people in there now. When we moved in, we had 7. The examiner just had me. You've overbuilt. Your reserves don't want to support this. Why did you build it so big? And I said, well, you want me to take one brick at a time out?
Well, you've remodeled the bank several times, just like Harry's talking about remodeling the pharmacy several times.
And we're in the process now of making plans to remodel our Plymouth office, which has been there 40 years. Larry Falstich, our manager, has been there 40 years, and we're going to gut out the inside, put a new shell on the outside, and make it new. By the way, they got a pretzel company made a big announcement up there. They're going to spend several $1 million to make more pretzels. They're going to hire
Excellent.
a lot of people. And
Wow,
Plymouth's
good deal.
Beginning to move.
Good deal for the whole area.
Yeah. Well, and also, of course, Lilligee, Notre Dame, and Elkhart County and Marshall County, millions to develop that up there. That all helps.
Sure does. All adds into it.
All right, now Harry, tell me about some of the things that you have done downtown, and maybe some of the things you'd like to see done.
Well, I've been, obviously, as a downtown retailer, been involved with the Chamber Retail Merchants Association over the years. Been just like yourself, gone through the chamber seats.
We used to have breakfast in the downtown, what was it? People's Association or something.
Yeah, Retail Merchants.
Yeah, Retail Merchants, that's right.
And it was a group of stores that would get together
Right.
and collaborate their advertising dollars to have a bigger impact. That's kind of now been replaced with the Main Street organization that we call Rochester Downtown Partnership. I'm currently president of that organization, and it's evolved kind of out of the chamber. The chamber director was our executive director for the first few years as we went through the status of getting 501c3 status. And Indiana Main Street organizations are defined by the Indiana Department of Commerce, and it's an essential step in order to get state and federal grant dollars. We had applied many times for grants in the past for downtown, and that was one checkbox we couldn't check, and it always kind of scored us poorly. So having an established Main Street organization helps us secure those grants, and getting our first attempt at it with this MSRP, which stands for Main Street Revitalization Grant, was evident to that. We were able to demonstrate that we were moving in the right direction, and we've secured a $600,000 state grant. It's got some federal dollars in there too, but it'll allow us to, we are going to do 10 different building facades starting maybe this fall. It'll probably continue through the winter and be done before next summer. So that'll be exciting. It's involving
600,000.
we're getting $600,000 in state dollars, and it's matched about with another $200,000 in local dollars between the building owners and various entities. The foundation has kicked in to help the theater. It's basically bringing all that money into a pool. But eventually, I think if you count some of the other projects that are also going on, we're going to be well over $1 million of downtown improvements.
That's pretty unbelievable for a little Rochester.
Yeah, I mean, it was when you can sit there and leverage essentially $90,000 of building owner money and get $1 million worth of work done. That's
good deal.
That's what makes this thing work. So that's what we're going to be able to accomplish. Rochester Downtown Partnership really has 3 different committees. It has a promotions committee, a design committee, and economic vitality committee. I consider it a 3-legged stool.
Yes.
And then the
Who are
top
the who are the chairs for that? For those?
our promotions committee is Tina Zabel.
Okay.
And then Lance Nelson is the chairman of the design committee. And then Mason Heidi is economic vitality. So the promotions committee is doing a lot of fun things. We just completed a themed dining event this last weekend. It was a May the 4th Be With You event. And we worked with the 6 different downtown restaurants and kind of helped drive some traffic into their stores. We're getting ready to do a Art is Blooming in the end of this month, where Christine Walsh is working with the schools and getting little flowers made, and then they're going to put them on vinyl. In some of the empty buildings, we're going to put a vinyl sheeting over the windows with flowers that kids have drawn on.
Oh, that'll look nice.
We have a Living Local Fest in June with a parade.
Okay, tell us about that.
Living Local Fest is they're still working on the details of it, but last year it was like a taste of event. We got the local restaurants to participate, and we had the parade late in the morning, and then after that, the Living Local Fest kind of kicked off with, I think we had about 10 different restaurants offering little appetizers, little tastes of what they do, and then they had some games, entertainment for the kids, and that type of thing. It's it's not a round barn festival, but the intent of our committee is not to see how many people we can put in town, but to how we can support the businesses that are here. So we try to do events that are driving businesses in the doors to help these businesses downtown.
And tell us again what date that is.
So last Saturday in June.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can't think of the date particularly, but it's the last Saturday.
Yeah,
in June.
I should have brought some more notes about that, but thank you. Of course, we do the Boo Fest, which is a Halloween trick-or-treat event. We're maybe doing some type of fall event this year. They're still talking about that. And then the biggest event is the Holiday Stroll. This last year, we had probably 2,000 people in the evening downtown, and they had carriage rides, they had ice carvings, they had frozen characters that you could bring your kids in, have pictures taken with the characters from the movie Frozen. Of course, you had Santa Claus come to town, and you had live reindeer here. So
yeah, but they were late.
The reindeer were late. They did make it, though.
Well,
they
they were
did
busy.
make it. And Grandma is okay, but we were about ready to kill her.
They've been busy.
So, then with the design committee, if you drive downtown, you see the new benches. Most of the benches are out, and bike racks are coming soon. We've had bike racks made locally using Craig's Welding and modern materials to paint them. But they're going to be, we have about 20 of those going in, and they're going to be where all the benches are. And we are getting new flower pots for downtown. I think the city's going to auction off the old ones.
Okay,
and
good.
we're going to have some new ones come in that are self-watering that'll help keep the flowers live in the heat.
Self-watering.
That's good.
They have like a water reservoir.
Okay.
We bought these up at the place up on Old 31 at Rose Garden Center or something,
Yeah.
but she ordered
Yeah.
those for us, and
Yeah.
they hold several gallons of water in the bottom, and it wicks it up into the thing, so they can come by once a week and do it. So.
Okay, good.
Well, next year, get some more things going, will you?
We are definitely doing that. Yeah, one exciting thing is Jim Scott, the artist, local artist Jim Scott, is wanting to do a tribute to John Chamberlain. John Chamberlain's our most famous artist
Yeah.
that's ever come out of this area. He's got sculptures all over the world that are worth, tens of thousands of dollars. And Jim wants to recreate a tribute to him, and maybe we're still working with the city, but hopefully we're going to get that on 9th and Main as a tribute to John Chamberlain, and maybe get some highway signs that say birthplace of John Chamberlain to direct people into downtown and get some more art in our downtown.
Jim is a multifaceted artist. He is very good at everything he puts his mind to.
Yeah,
He really is.
it's fun to talk with him and just
Yes.
see his brain spin.
He gets excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's on this, so we're still developing that project. Sciotes, you mentioned Sciotes earlier, but they did a art banner contest using the schools, and all those banners are up
That's good.
downtown now, and there's a whole bunch of
Looks
those up, and some are at the library as well. So,
Thank you, Harry, for stopping by. Congratulations again on your award. But thank you for all the work you're doing
Absolutely.
in the city, and I know you're doing things in Akron and in North Manchester also. You're a great asset to our community. Our trivia this morning was the Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. How long have they been married? 50 years, 60 years, or 71?
I'm going 71.
Me too,
It's a odd
71.
number.
You're right. Yeah.
71.
She's 90 plus.
96, isn't she? Or thereabouts?
7, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I'm old, and she's been queen the whole time I've been around. So
Yeah,
that's,
I think he's a year older than she is.
I was in England when I was 5 years old. And, remember going to
Did he
Buckingham
finally
House.
stop driving?
I think they took his license.
Did they take?
away.
I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Let's hope so.
we'll research that.
Okay.
Okay, let's close with these words of wisdom. Money can buy a fine dog, but only love will make its tail wag.
Well said.
I got a quote from Ziggy Ziglar. You know who Ziggy Ziglar was?
Great sales trainer.
He was.
He
And
was.
He was a speaker at a Chamber of Commerce meeting here one time.
Was he really? Zig came
Yeah.
to town. Wow.
Bob Gottschalk brought him in.
Okay.
One of his statements that he's made: never stop doing your best just because someone doesn't give you credit.
Well said.
There you go.
Yeah, Zig was quite a guy. Dick Belcher, thank you very much. Harry Webb, thank you for being here in the first Federal Show. Katie, good job.